Chapter 4 The Work. The theme for this week is crafts, reps, and hours, the inglorious discipline that produces mastery. Talent doesn't win, the work wins. I have seen many talented people come through because I've taught tens of thousands of students over the 40 years that I've been teaching. I had classes that were many as 100, 110 people in class. And because of the turnover and because of the years, that adds up to a lot of people. And it was always curious to me why some people made it and some people didn't. What is absolutely true is that work ethic always trumps talent. If someone who is talented does not have the same work ethic as someone who is moderately talented, who really has to work hard in order to get it, to do it, to be comfortable doing it. But they put in the hours and they put in the days and they put in the time. That person will ultimately become more successful than the talented person who will give up on themselves, who will be looking for more comfort. Change is on the other side of comfort. And so I cannot tell you how important work ethic is. That's the base level foundational thing that is necessary in order to have a sustained career, in order to be able to run this marathon. The people who wind up working with me are introduced to a sick level of work ethic. I will put in hours and hours, I mean, hundreds, thousands of hours on something. I never will forget that one of the things that affected me most and really spoke about work ethic in a way that really landed on me and resonated with me as much as anything was that Sir Anthony Hopkins came and spoke and was a guest in one of the classes that I was in. And someone said, Mr. Hopkins, how do you prepare for a part? And he said, I read the script. I said, okay, once you read the script, then what do you do? He said, I read it again. Brave soul said, okay, you read the script twice, and then what do you do? He said, I read it again. I read it 250 times before I ever try to stand up and act it. By the time I get up, I know everything there is to know about that character. That made all the sense in the world to me. So, in terms of looking at how many times over do you do something, which gives you the repetition and helps you to understand structure and understand the nuances and the DNA of a character or a painting. You paint the painting to find out what it looks like. And so putting that kind of work ethic into something allows you to develop a mastery that is hard to match. So work ethic is everything. I have put as much as 1,500 hours into the development of a character. My first season of Beauty in Black, I create a character chart. This is something that I invented and copyrighted. I'm just going to run this across here just so that you can see the amount of detail that goes into creating that. Now, that's my character for the current show that I'm working on, Beauty in Black. That is a character scientifically created in terms of science is the systematic study of something. The anthropology of that human being, I have studied extensively. The emotional, the spiritual, the behavioral, the origin of this human being. That's anthropology. So, therefore, I've done an anthropological study of this human being and laid it out in a very scientific way so that I understand everything about that character. But it gives me the ability to be able to consume that information and then forget it. So now it is in the DNA of my bones and I don't have to think about it anymore. And the amount of times that I go over it and go over it and go over it and write in the detail and write something else that I've learned, what his hair, his makeup, his wardrobe, the props that he uses, the motivation behind things, the personal aspects of the character, so that in every moment I'm looking at the time when I did something like that. Oh, yeah, this moment when he's dealing with this character is like the time I did this. And I look at the behavior of what happened then, and it's detailed. And so it requires that kind of work. Talent is the seed, but work is the harvest. I worked hard in a lot of areas, right? And so this is for where my work goes. And this is where my knowledge and intelligence and expertise has been poured into that, which is so unique and so useful and valuable. So the seed, my talent is my seed, but my work is my harvest. And this is part of the harvest. This board here creates confidence. It also separates dreamers from professionals. I'm a professional through and through. I'm not just somebody that's like, oh God, I want to be this and I want to be that. I'm not the person who has the faith. I have the faith, but I also create the works because faith without works is dead. That's a dreamer. Faith with works is a professional. The work is the spiritual discipline. You don't know what it takes to get up no matter what and to put the hours in. My assistants who work with me, they show up early. We work all day. We work when we eat. We work when we drive in the car on the way to the set. We work on the set. We go to the gym. We work. We walk down the street. We work. We go shopping. We work. Work is part of the deal. My former daughter-in-law was one of the few people that I saw who put that kind of work in. She's a beast. Beyonce is a beast when it comes to work. But I identified because my work ethic is on the same level. I haven't accomplished what she's accomplished yet, but it is in the same family of creation. Having said that, let's create a 1 hour artist work block. Schedule one uninterrupted hour today, dedicated only to your craft. No excuses, no split attention. We have internet, we have social media. These are the greatest distracting tools possible. It gives you a great reason to deflect. Your talent is one thing and it requires your undivided attention. And all these things give you an opportunity to deflect and to focus somewhere else and to lose your focus on going forward. So just pick 1 hour. Spend 1 hour completely focused. If you're going to start at 7 o'clock, start at 7 o'clock. Turn your phones off. Were you able to be successful in focusing for one solid hour? After you have mastered 1 hour, then move it to two, or an hour and a half, and then two, and then three, and then four over the course of time. That takes really showing up and the discipline of knowing what you are trying to accomplish. You know, the interesting thing is that mastery is built in the dark long before anyone is watching. All these hours, I'm either with an assistant or I'm spending alone hours. And I'm disciplining myself to not be distracted by socialization. There's some of that you need that too, but you have to be able to say no to those seductive things that want to take your attention away, that want to give you tension relieving things. Is it goal achieving or tension relieving? And goal achieving means that I miss a lot of football games. I miss a lot of things watching other millionaires work. That's the way I look at it. They've made their millions. They're doing their job. I want people to watch me do my job. The only way I can do my job is if I'm prepared and I've had the discipline to show up. I love it when I'm on the set and then other actors and other departments stop to watch me work. There's no greater compliment because of the fact that you are prepared in such a way that people want to see how professional you are and you accomplish your work. And that requires saying no to a lot of things, people, places, and things. That means you got to have people around you that support you, that's not looking to be envious of the time you spend with your work. Part of this is in terms of setting up the culture around you to support you. You have to create a space where art can occur, and that includes people, places, and things. People see the results, the roles, the recognition, but they rarely see the hours, the sweat, the repetition, the nights you're alone with your craft, when no one is calling, no one is checking on you, and no one is watching. Talent is a blessing, But talent alone won't get you where you're trying to go. The work is what builds confidence. The work is what sharpens your instrument. The work is what separates the committed from the curious. I remember seasons where the phone wasn't ringing, no auditions, nothing moving, but I stayed working, reading plays, studying film, rehearsing scenes, running techniques again and again. And every time an opportunity finally came, I was ready because I had been working long before the spotlight arrived. So, another way to say that is to stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. The work is worship, it honors your calling. Do the work, put the time in. The discomfort becomes the blessing. Your call to action this week: share a picture or description of your 1 hour work block in the comments so that you share this and show other people what you're doing so people can build off of your knowledge or your lesson or what you've learned. That's it. And that's all.